Let's do this thing. Let's New Amsterdam this night.
Corner market store.
I mean, is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
3 experience to spend on a skill. But
Sounds like he's ready.
I don't know. Why won't it let me go to concept and lore?
I thought we did all this last week, guys. Come on, get with the program.
we did!
But-
Now there's a new character sheet.
It's Friday the 13th. It's time to fight Freddy Krueger.
Homie, I'm Freddy Krueger.
Is it Jason,
specialized-
Michael? Which one's actually Friday the 13th? I'm not.
Jason is Friday the
It's
13th.
Jason. Okay. I was like, I'm not trolling. I don't watch these movies.
So I got
His
the
mother was Friday the 13th.
specialize in brawl, so I can roll 5 dice for it.
Depending on the situation, right? So what's your specialization for brawl? What kind of brawling do you specialize in?
Oh, my protein weapons.
Oh,
So when
that'll do it.
my hands become claws,
Yeah. No, that's a good call.
and it goes from like normal damage to the extra damage. I forgot what it was called.
Aggravated.
Yeah.
Ryan, for some reason, the link you sent me only takes me to like a welcome page.
How do you link it? I'm at my character sheet.
So next to your name, there's a little like
Oh, I see.
settings image thingy. Scroll down on that, and then there's a character sharing. Copy the link.
Oh, there's also viewing permissions.
Oh, yeah, that. Try that, Ben. I guess I might have to give you permission first.
Hey, look at that. There's an Alex. Alex, it's saying you have 0 of 24 experience points. Whereas everybody else is claiming 30.
30?
Yeah, he gave us 30.
That's where I had the extra skill points for. Oh.
Ryan. You sit
And
in
that
Ryan
was-
is showing 0
I
of 0
finagled
experience.
medicine around for a little bit. I'm like, I remember I definitely had medicine as a skill. So I finagled it to make it work. Now I don't have to do that.
So I have extra XP.
If you want to, you should have 30 total experience.
Ben, I gotta send you a message.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Yep, let's do this thing.
Well, who would like to start out with a recap of last session?
My mom's doing it.
Oh man, a bunch of. Oh wait, you heard Charles. His mom's gonna do it.
My mom wasn't even here.
Yeah. Okay, a whole bunch of shit happened last session. Where to begin? Terry went and spoke with James Blake and got a little lesson in Camarilla etiquette and kind of formally put the New Fang clan on the map as far as the Camarilla is concerned. With our Tourador leader Alex leading the way, we get a lot of clout. And then
Ventru, please.
sorry, Ventru. We have a Tourador. That's Amanda, right?
Or Blake.
We have a Blake. Well, we have a Hulk. We have a Blake. Maxwell Clark also talked to Terry about Ivan Zaitsev, who was a Sokolov sire, who is Terry's sire. So this is like his grandsire, and essentially gave Terry permission to start moving against him in Gambaton, but not like permission, just like, hey, we wouldn't be upset if like shit, diminished over there and you guys moved in on his territory. We might be okay with that. And so Terry's probably going to put good old Rain up to some of that nonsense. Got the nonprofit homeless shelter, soup kitchen, donation center. We're gonna name it the Sunshine Center. We are here to brighten your day. And that's what Terry did. Rain got up to some stuff. He got a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He did some drug deals.
Yep.
And you did one other thing, but I'm forgetting it. Did you just do drug deals and motorcycle?
Yep.
Okay. And then Ryan, what did you do last session?
He invited junkies into his house, too.
So, yeah, it's a homeless shelter.
No. Rain
Whoa,
invited junkies into his derelict house.
Oh, that's right, because we checked the fourth Junkertown. You redubbed it Junkertown.
Oh, yeah. I got a little second hole there.
Yep.
I got some stuff going on. I'm going into the charity place. I can't think of the name. The Sunshine
Center.
I'm going in the Sunshine Center occasionally. Actually, on the opening night, I went in and stayed the night there, and just talked to some new people, met some new recruits, invited some junkies back to my building, and then started to turn those junkies into a homeless gang. And anybody who wanted out could leave my house. They can go to the Sunshine Center. Anybody who'd stayed had to pledge loyalty, and if they betrayed me, I had to take out a couple of guys, made them disappear. But ever since that, people know better than to betray me. I named my gang Rainfall, and the gang symbol is 3 raindrops.
I like it.
And they've been turning a profit. I haven't really talked much about money. More so, I just use the money to buy more drugs to make more. And occasionally, like, we'll use the money to buy a motorcycle. Or recently, he had Lucas purchase a property out in Shadgrove, like a $5,000 trailer. And that's what Rain's had going on.
Alex was spending some time like learning how to fight better from Terry and Rain. Did a couple boxing montages.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then he studied up on all sorts of like occult happenings, like all those like black and white magazines that are on the checkout aisles full of like UFOs and conspiracy theories and stuff like that, like crop circles stuff. Like he's like reading up on all that now that he's aware that there's a whole another life and world out there that maybe anything's possible. And because he took a few points in the cult. And a little bit of blood sorcery dabbling.
Terry officially moved into the archives, and he ran into his new retainer, Anna. I'm going to say she's the CEO go-getter type, and that Terry meets her at Glow. You know, the nice place.
Definitely makes sense.
The Black Hat Club is nice. Ish.
Just don't say that in front of Blake.
Blake doesn't think anything's nice. You could take soap out of a box and she'd be like, ew, that's dirty. Rain's gonna do an impression of Blake.
She comes in, smashes her heel against your temple.
Very much that energy.
Just troll her, step on me, mommy. Oh, God!
Not that energy. That took a left turn.
So, yeah, that was pretty much everything that happened last session, I think.
Rain, or not Rain, Blake was upset about favors.
That's
Yes.
yes. Terry tried asking Maxwell Clark about it, and he said that is Blake's business.
Not yours.
That's right.
Now yours.
Oh, that's right. Terry also wore a New Amsterdam Black Sox hat.
Okay. So as everyone is sort of doing their own thing, and again, time is a little in flux here. We're skipping around as needed. But as this session starts, what sort of comes up as an image? There's a title card. New Amsterdam by night. And the date and time down at the bottom says October 31st, 2018. And you see Blake, but it's different. She's wearing a light windbreaker jacket.
Wait, I think I have a picture. Unless it's on my other computer. Hold on. We have her casual clothing. Sweater weather. Okay.
And over this outfit, and you can see that she's hastily donned this jacket, is a windbreaker with an FBI emblem on the breast and the 3 big letters on the back, FBI.
Dun, dun, dun.
You see
She's a
someone
narc.
You see someone handing her a holster with a gun. giving her an earpiece. All right, we got your message. You said you followed them to this warehouse, right?
Yeah, the right side.
Okay. Let us know when you're ready to go in.
Well, now as good a time as any.
This guy reaches up. He's got one of those mics hidden up his sleeve. You see him talking into his sleeve. Says, all right, breach in 30. Everyone in position. Now, you said there were 3 of them, right?
She'll just nod.
Okay. You know what to do. And the 2 of them lightly jog to either side of a metal doorway. The door's shut, no windows. In a rundown area of New Amsterdam.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Coming up to the door is a SWAT team wearing vests that say NAPD. They look to the older male agent that's with Blake. He gives a crisp nod and he tells them quietly, just remember, you're here to do what I or Agent Stevens tells you. Got it? Go in, clear the place. Don't take a shot. We want to catch these people, not kill them.
Yeah.
And the NAPD guys kind of roll their eyes and they're like, yeah, we got it.
Yep.
You hear a countdown come over the earpieces that everyone's wearing now. Everyone's in position. On 3. 1, 2. Bam! The NAPD guys use the battering ram they brought with them, bust open the metal door, drop the ram, pull weapons, breach the entry. One going right, one going left, pairing up. Agent Jessica Stevens takes the right path, following behind the NAPD officer. They clear the room. No one's there. They keep going. Once they get past the entryway, there's a large open area of abandoned warehouse. Used to be a factory. Got converted. Now there's just piles of junk. As they're making their way through, keeping an eye out, they hear a noise in the back. Another breach team. And then they hear cursing. And then gunfire. Coming from the back of the warehouse. Agent Stevens takes cover. The NAPD officer shields her. Takes his semi-automatic rifle. Turns around the corner. Trying to look for anything. And that's when you see it. 3 people. Sprinting. Firing wildly behind them. Each carrying a small pistol. They look like partygoers. Look like they've been to a rave. Look like they've been somewhere that Agent Stevens might have just come from. But with the fireworks already started, there's no more talking. All 3 are gunned down. It's done quickly, efficiently. Agent Menendez, the older man, after the gunfire quiets down, walks over to Agent Stevens. All right, Stevens. I need you to ID these three. Whoever they were, they started shooting. They brought this on themselves, but are these the ones you followed? Are these the ones you tracked?
She will take a closer look at the three individuals, and I assume confirming that yes, these are the individuals.
Indeed.
Yeah, they just looked a little bit more lively last time I saw them. She'll give him a look.
All right. Well, this isn't what we wanted, but
Yeah, I remember there being strict orders on not, making sure they be left alive.
well, when they start shooting, there's not much we can do about it.
If you say so.
About that time, another vested, helmeted SWAT member of the NMPD SWAT team comes from the back of the warehouse. Well, looks like they just got done dumping another body. Yet, I really hoped we'd find out who or what was behind this and what the hell they'd been doing. But at least we stopped them. All right. I think the NAPD has it from here. You feds can clear out. You've done your part. Agent Menendez looks at Agent Stevens. I think they're unfortunately probably right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, why stick around? It's not like we did any work for this case or anything.
Don't worry, there's plenty of paperwork still to file.
There always is.
Later that evening, you see Agent Stevens sitting at a laptop in a relatively rundown hotel room, just typing up her incident report to go along with the shooting. She didn't discharge her firearm, so it's a little less paperwork than she's going to have to do. But it's been a long day. She's tired. It's about 11 o'clock, and there's a gentle knock on her door.
Oh, good, more paperwork. She'll get up and answer the door.
As you open the door, expecting to see Agent Menendez, what you actually see is perhaps the most beautiful person you've ever seen. This stunning figure is somewhat androgynous. You honestly can't tell if it's male or female. They have slightly Asian features, but very long hair. Long to the point that even though you can't see it all, you see it must drape past their waist. And as you step back just a little bit, you happen to glance up at their eyes and you get lost. And without even knowing how it's happening, you just step back and usher them inside. And as they walk past you, you close the door, lock it, and follow them. It's Jessica Stevens, right?
That's yeah.
Yes, Miss Stevens. I wanted to thank you. I know that you are new to New Amsterdam, just visiting town. But you have done me and my friends a wonderful service this evening.
And you are
A friend.
oh good. Just strolling through and just happened to. She's like gonna like look at him and realize she's let him in. just strolling through in my apartment.
Well, I did so want to meet you this eve.
Yet you haven't said your name.
Well, if you must know, dear, my name is Ryu. And as they say their name, something about them changes. There's this sense of presence that is just unleashed. It is both commanding and intoxicating. You feel like you don't know why, but you know that if this person had never knocked on your door, if they'd just been walking by in the hallway, you would have known that it was someone you had to see, you had to talk to. But they're focusing all their attention on you. All of their attention. And you start to just melt inside. And Ryu leans in very closely. Tell me, Jessica, have you ever dreamed of more than what you are now?
Tell me who has.
What if I told you that I could give you what you've always dreamed of?
I'd be interested in hearing your proposal.
Would you be interested? Or would you be willing to follow me? Let me show you what this city, what this world can become for you.
Sorry, Charles is interrupting. He knows I'm trying to do something serious right now. She's gonna look at him and she'll nod her head and she'll say, "Yeah, I think I'd be interested."
And as you nod your head, he leans in, you think, to give you a kiss. But instead he goes for your neck. And you feel more ecstasy in that touch than you felt in your life. And that's all you remember until you wake up the next evening. You're in a beautiful apartment, in a bed that, well, it's draped in silks with perfect crimson satin sheets. And you are hungry. Hungry in a way you've never felt before. And sitting across from the bed, you see Ryu. And you also see a young man, also quite handsome, but not nearly as handsome as Ryu. And for some reason, you're drawn to him as if he has life itself flowing through his veins.
I approach them as I get out of bed and walk towards them. Suspiciously, yet also entranced.
Well, again, you are hungry. Oh, oh, so hungry.
Yes. And confused. As I get closer to the individual who's not Ryu, does that hunger sense intensify?
It does. In fact, you can see his veins fluttering in his neck. You can feel the warmth coming off of him in a way that you've never noticed before. And as you glance at Ryu, he says, "Yes, my child. Feed. Drink."
I think this would be a point where Blake would probably pull a Terry, and it'll probably be a moment that she'll look back on and realize that's not who she wants to be, because it's a very messy, probably not super elegant experience, where she just kind of lunges at this guy, unable to resist the urge any longer. And there's probably a bit of a mess to be made.
And once you've finished feeding, Ryu calls you over to him. He begins stroking your hair. "Yes, my child. This is the first lesson. The hunger, it will ever be with you. But look at the beauty of what you have done." And as he talks to you, you begin to see that in the pale skin, in the small spatters of blood across the chair and the table, there is a kind of beauty to the life that was there and is no longer. Now, my child, I am going to show you so much more beauty than you have ever seen. But first, we do away with the old you. What name would you have? What name have you always wanted? But your parents, those people who gave you the first unworthy life. What name should they have given you?
Here's a lore question for you. Can vampires see their reflection?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. We're gonna be dramatic.
Balake.
Balake. No. So Jessica is going to kind of survey the room a little bit, and like as her hunger subsides, she's gonna kind of take in everything that's happened. In my brain, in this beautiful apartment that probably has way too much white because for some reason Blake is only in white spaces when there's blood splatter. There's like an intricate golden lined super tall mirror leaning against the wall, and she'll walk over to that, and she's gonna kind of take a look at herself, and she sees that she's completely just drenched in blood, and like she's gonna put like her hand to her face and to kind of take a look at herself and see herself as she no longer looks like what she looked at like even just yesterday in the mirror getting ready for work in the morning. Her skin's paler, her eyes have different tints to them. As she like touches her face, she's going to leave, blood marks, and then she's going to dramatically punch the mirror, realizing that she doesn't exactly like the way she looks right now because she still has a lot of her humanity points, I would assume. And she's just lost a huge part of who she was, and she doesn't recognize the person staring back at her. And then she'll look back to Ryu and just say, you can call me Blake, I suppose. What's gonna happen to me?
Oh, so much will happen. So much, my dear Blake. At first, well, you will somewhat struggle to make sense of your new life, but soon enough, you will come to learn what you have gained and how little you have lost. So let me introduce you first and foremost to the first thing you have gained. Immortality. As you may have suspected, given your most recent feeding, what you may have always thought was simply myth is oh so very real. You are one of the kind now. And beyond that, well, you are my child in a way that you, well, that you will come to understand. And as a caring sire, I give you gifts. This place, it's yours. If there's anything you need, it will be provided. If there's anything you want, you need simply to ask.
I know we're in the middle of super deep role play right now, but can we all take a 10-minute break? Because I have to read Charles, so he goes to bed because he's driving me crazy.
I'm good with that.
Okay,
I think we
like,
basically wrap that scene up there. It's like
it's good. It's good. Yeah. Like I have a couple questions, but also it's like no, I feel like Blake is a little too awestruck right now and confused, and also a lot of conflicting emotions. So I feel like she wouldn't really be able to ask a lot. But I feel like this was fucking fabulous. I loved every second.
so. Well, Charles is a bedtime story, and Jeremy is BRB. How about we check in with Alex? We fast forward a few more years into the future.
Would he have been able to make use of? I would imagine he would try to go through Chris Fox just because his character artwork makes me think that's the kind of guy that might know somebody that does like blood sorcery sorts of magic. He's the kind of guy that would know people that know people.
Chris Fox definitely knows people and knows of people.
So if
And
it's possible, I was hoping for some sort of a connection for blood sorcery during this period. If not through the Camarilla, then potentially through,
so
I don't know, like a weird occult meetup.
when you reach out to Chris Fox, what sort of message do you send him? How do you try to attract his attention?
I suppose I'd be wording it kind of more like a progress report, like talking about how there's been fewer and fewer reports of Russian activity in our area, that things seem to be running more smoothly than ever. And for the sake of progressing, and for the goodness of the Camarilla, should future problems arise, he thinks that it would be most beneficial for those of the purest vampire bloodlines to progress through with this animal and face it kind of head on and like embrace it for what it is and learn to make use of it, and being the sort of studious type that he is, phrase it more like a sort of research hypothesis. Like he thinks he's onto a means of making use of the awe presence that he has acquired through this Ventrue bloodline, and just focusing on that almost pheromone like power, but in the opposite, like extracting that. And I'm thinking like just flavoring why he's able to do the Extinguish Vitae blood sorcery spell, where you can potentially like draw hunger points away from other vampires near you. So I don't know. Weird blood magic stuff that is weird to try and.
So, as you sort of send this status update and start talking about how you'd like to understand more about how how these bloodlines work, what you can do, and the message comes across as someone who's seeking information and advice. And
Definitely.
what you get back from Fawkes is a handwritten note. He congratulates you on your progress. Says he also has seen a substantial decrease in issues with his interests in the area, and that anyone who would like to know more about their history, about the powers that come with the abilities that you now have, could do much worse than seeking out Tim Acard, who can be found most evenings at either the gatherings of the official court, should one be happening, or at a little quiet pub over in um, over in Burnshead. Called The Laughing Magician.
Oh, that place sounds fun. Oh, we were warned about somebody at this court gathering, right?
You were warned about somebody what?
Somebody that's always got the gathering around there. Oh, remembering something super vague that is not helpful right now. But it was triggered by the word court. Not, it's a half thought. But he's going to make use of that, jot it down, and at some point in time head over towards the Burns Head, looking for the Laughing Magician to seek out Tim Acard.
Okay. So we'll say you do just a little bit of checking around to, it's not hard to get the address of this place. It's, to the business. And what you can sort of gather is that it's one of those, it's a pub style place. It went for a little bit of like a themed experience, sort of set more medieval. They don't go as far as like a medieval times and have people, wearing armor trying to, be waiters or anything like that. But
Well, darn.
they do, have live minstrels who play, and they're playing lutes and flutes and hand drums and those sorts of things. And the menu is medieval themed. It's almost like a little Renaissance fair type pub, but established and active.
He steps in and like for a moment he's like kind of just like drawn into the atmosphere before remembering like why he's here, and then looking for anybody that looks kind of familiar with the place, that looks either relaxed in their seat, not necessarily with a group, or somebody like alone at the bar, I would think.
And you see a few lone customers. There's some tables of like younger college age kids. You've also got a couple of tables in the back where you've got people, clearly most of them have books out, and there's some sort of like map sort of thing in the middle of the table. And while you're probably not familiar with it, you get the impression they're probably playing one of those like role-playing games you've heard about, like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
Oh, gross.
And next
try to
to
like get
oh,
the attention of the bartender. Probably snap him over a little bit. Drop a couple of bucks. Like he'll put down a 20, order a drink, drop down another 20, then ask if the name Timicard is familiar.
oh yeah, I know Tim. Uh, yeah, he's the. You see the table where they're playing Pathfinder? Yeah, table just beyond that, the guy sitting there by himself watching. Yeah, that's him.
All right. Excuse himself around the table, Pathfinders. Some nonsense about Dungeons or Dragons or some such. Fighting an evil SRD, whatever that is.
And as
You
you
will
walk up to as you make your way around the gaming table to the smaller table in the back corner, the fellow who's sitting there, he's got a big stein of beer, and he's, casually, uh, sipping at it every so often, just sort of watching the kids play. And he looks up at you and says, "Do I know you?"
friend of Fox. He said that we might have some mutual interests.
Hmm. Well, he could be right. Fox isn't a complete idiot.
He has his tendencies.
And the fellow that you see seated there is a thin but well built African American man, long braided, dreaded hair, sort of caught up and tied. He seems to be wearing almost one of those. I honestly forget the name of the garment. It's it sort of like lays over both shoulders. You see it a lot in like Western movies.
Like
Poncho?
a shawl?
Kind of like a poncho, but I'll just show you the picture.
Poncho.
Okay.
All right.
See, I
Yep.
think of poncho as like the hooded thing, but I thought it had a different name. Anyway, so you see this guy sitting at the table, and he says, "Well, here, have a seat."
Oh, much appreciated, friend. Can I buy you another one?
No, I think this one did me just fine. And as you look at the big stein he's got, you can tell there's nothing really that's been drunk out of it.
Just double checking. uh, so, this is rather unusual topic to broach, but Fox mentioned, well, there have been a number of peculiarities involved in some of my hemomatic research about blood tissue.
Oh, I see. So you're playing a blood sorcerer, huh? Yeah, it's a nice new class.
Yes. Some very unearthed arcana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the writers they they're giving it a try. I've got ideas that I think could probably improve it, make it, more real, if you would. But, I mean, they're at least giving it a shot. So what do you think about it?
Well, to be quite honest, I had a few notes myself, based on some of the research that I've done and some of my own findings. I was hoping actually to progress or perhaps expand some of my studies further.
Man, you sound like you're taking this really seriously, man. Doing your own research and everything.
I
Wow.
mean, I'm much newer at this than a whole lot of folks who have sure have been doing this for decades now.
Well, fair enough.
I can acknowledge that sometimes the best tutor is time to gain the proper expertise, and short of that, it's an experienced tutor.
Look, I appreciate your interest, and I'd be more than willing to, you know, talk through any ideas you've got about maybe how the class could be set up slightly differently. I can share some, my ideas about how things, work and go from there. But right now, I'm, you know, really kind of enjoying watching the game. So, I mean, you can hang out and watch the game too. That's fine. They're usually done in about an hour anyway.
Perhaps I'll return with some of my research. We can compare notes.
I mean, you can, but tell you what, since Fox has invited you in, I'm willing to, help you build your character up a little bit. But maybe let's not do that here. How about, yeah, no, I know where we can do it. And it's like, look, uh, probably not going to happen tonight. Maybe about a week before I can, find time. So, here, meet me at this address. And he writes down an address for you. Uh, the address is over in, you notice, is in Den Hollow.
Den Hollow. All right. I'll see you in a week then.
All right. And, give Fox my best, but tell him he really needs to let me know if he's going to invite somebody else in.
Is there anything I should bring?
I'll bring whatever research notes you've got. I'll be interested to see.
All right. Then we shall pause this and put this conversation on hiatus until we reacquiesce in Den Hollow.
Man, you've really got to work on your language. Like, I know you're trying to fit in with the whole vibe here, but dude.
Personally, I think I'm nailing this medieval accent.
Trust me, you're not.
Well, when in Rome, I will see you next time, Tim.
All right, I'll see you there, man.
He will find his way out of here.
And so a week
Ryan wants to
passes.
go to the Laughing Magician.
A week passes, and you get your directions. And you headed to Den Hollow. And the place you end up is just a small house, ranch style, in what looks like a quiet neighborhood. And you see there's a couple of cars parked in the driveway. As you pull up,
Of course, I mean, I should have anticipated he wasn't the only one that was going to be here. If only there's going to be a steamed panel. So he'll like give himself a once over in the rearview mirror, like straighten up his collar. And I'm sure he's got like actual envelopes of research that he's been doing in the meanwhile of his own blood studies. And so that's what he's walking in with.
okay. So you go up to the door, you knock, and when it's opened, you are greeted by a young woman. Looks to be in her mid-30s. And she says, "Ah, Mr. Veludi, I take it."
Yes.
"Yes, do please come in. We were expecting you."
My thanks. I'm sorry, I wasn't told to expect anyone else.
"What do you mean?"
Well, Tim didn't mention that he had company.
"Ah, yes, well, Tim has his ways."
Huh?
"But come, let us go to the basement."
All right.
And
Following you.
as she closes the door behind you, makes her way, you know, sort of through a couple of rooms, finds a staircase heading down into the basement. And the basement is largely unfinished. There's, kind of, it's clearly been used for storage for some things, fairly neatly organized, lots of containers, plastic crates, and that sort of stuff. And to the left of the staircase, as you come down, is a kind of dividing wall and a doorway. And just beside the door, there's like a clothing rack. And on the clothing rack are what at first strikes you as like costumes. But then you notice that they're all basically variations on some type of robe. And the young woman stops you, takes off one of the plain, simple white robes that are hanging there, and hands it to you. You'll want to put that on.
Hood up or down? Sort of a situation here.
For you, hood down.
All right. Ropes going on, hood staying down.
And then she opens the door. And on the other side of the door, what you see is it's still an unfinished portion of the basement, but it has been tiled very intricately. Like there is clearly some type of pattern in it's almost like a mosaic on the floor. And it has inlays like where the grout would typically be. You can see that some of it has actually had like metal laid into the concrete and amongst the tile to make these whorls and circles and other geometric figures. And there's a table on the left-hand side of the room that is covered in what look like almost alchemical contraptions. There's glass beakers and vials and coils of tubing, and it's like walking into something from a video game. But there in the center of the circle, in the center of the mosaic in the floor, sits someone in a deep red, like almost red-black robe. Hood covering their head so that you can't even see the face. And there's a very quiet sort of chanting going on.
While being let in, am I given any sort of direction, or
Nope,
am
she
I
opened the
continuing
door,
to follow
let you
her?
walk in, and closed it behind you.
Excellent. So White Robe going to just start stepping forward, looking for any other people wearing white robes anywhere. Or if it's just like it's this one open room and I can see it's just
It's
me and
one
this
open
other
room,
person.
and the only other person you see in there is the one in the center of the circle.
Okay. Well then I would like to try and what is it? The smell the resonance of this person's blood, like to determine both if they're human and if they would even be good for me. Right?
Go for it.
All right. So resolve plus awareness test, difficulty 3. For 3. So yes.
So you get the sense, A, that the person in this robe there in front of you is not human. And almost as if they can sense what you're doing, the figure looks up, and you can just make out within the depths of the cowl the face that you saw at the Laughing Magician. And Mr. Acard looks at you and says, "I see you came. Good. There are not many who seek to learn the secrets, the magics of the blood. Even fewer who prove capable. That Fox deigned to send you my way implies some level of competence. Let us see."
I can assure you I'm a pretty quick learner, even for some things once impossible. I've found that my whole perspective has undergone a recent shift, and it's helped to open my mind to all sorts of new possibilities.
That is good. But you will find that in many ways it is less the mind than it is the beast that shall guide you. And that's how you start your studies of blood magic.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, Terry,
Yo.
what you doing?
Well, I don't know. What's Terry's gonna check in on everybody because we've all kind of gone our separate ways, but we want to make sure everyone is, still doing their tasks. So he's gonna check in on everyone.
Okay. So, you go to check in on Rain. And when you get to his nice new rundown derelict home, you see that some of the folks are still choosing to live there as opposed to going to this new shelter that you guys have been trying to set up. And when you ask around, they tell you they haven't seen him in a couple of days.
Couple of days.
Yep.
Are the, are any of these guys that Terry's aware of I have a lot of influence. Are any of these guys Rain's like dealers?
You're pretty sure that just about everyone who is staying at that particular location works with Rain in some capacity.
Okay. Then he's just gonna say, when did he say he'll be back?
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, I mean, he said could be gone for just a few days or could be gone a while. And like he didn't really say specifically when he'd be back.
Did he say where he was going?
Not really. I mean, he told us to just check in with Truck and Truck would give us directions if we needed to do anything.
Who the fuck is Truck?
You don't know Truck?
Do I know Truck?
Not sure if you do or not.
I don't know. Terry knows a lot of things.
I don't think he knows Truck. I might have told him about Truck.
You don't know Truck?
Terry
Truck was
has
the guy I went to.
Terry has a lot of influence here in Ridge Bottom. Maybe people just be like, "Oh yeah, let me tell you about Truck.
Maybe Truck knows Terry.
Well, Truck definitely knows Terry.
All right. Well then, where's Truck?
Oh, let's see. Truck. He said that he was going to go check over by the underpasses and make sure things were still okay over there, and that he'd probably be back around tomorrow.
You guys are killing me. All right. If Truck shows up before then, tell him Terry's looking for him.
All right.
I've never been more frightened of Terry than I am right now. Everything I've built is in this room, and there's a bull in a china shop.
One bestial failure away from losing your
Hold on, let me make a roll. You make me make a roll, storyteller. Yeah. No. Okay. Well, that was a bust. Let's go check in on Alex.
All right, so let's see. To learn blood sorcery. I need to do some checking, like on the actual time it would probably take. And again, since
Sure.
we're playing fast and loose with time, we'll just assume that Alex is available, and he can tell you what he's getting into.
Yeah, I mean, if we're only meeting up one day on weekends.
Hey, you have your new Saturday night get together to play some game.
Going to play some Pathfinder game.
You're gonna do what?
Blood sorcery.
You said you're going to play a game.
Yes, learning from these bloodsuckers known as Wizards of the Coast.
I do hear that they do know how to bleed somebody dry.
They put the Camarilla to shame, from what I understand.
Pathfinder's actually owned by Paizo, though. You know that, right, Alex?
What? You mean they're different?
Yeah, there's two separate games. You never played D&D in high school?
Can't say I had the time.
Oh, yeah, you were doing doctor shit. That makes sense. Okay. Well, hey, have you seen Rain? His guy said that he's been gone a couple days, and they're not sure when he's going to be back. Did he say anything to you?
Can't say that I've seen him recently, no. Did you check under the bridge?
No, apparently he left it, trucks taking care of the bridge right now. Have you seen Blake?
No. I thought I heard her car the other day.
But you didn't actually see her?
I don't think so.
So what is this whole coterie? Is it just me running things and y'all are just running around doing your own little thing, or is anyone gonna show up to kind of help, or is this just
Well, I mean, the
Terry and Anna
Sunshine
show?
Center takes a whole hell of a lot of paperwork to be filed.
Yep, but that's why I got Anna.
Well, you need to let Anna know to dot all of her I's and cross all of her T's.
At least guarantee me that this blood magic is going to be worth it.
It can definitely turn the tide, from what I understand. And if you focus, really focus, it can be very interesting.
Okay, well,
We'll see if it gets there.
if you need a place to point it at, we have been kind of given a little bit of ring to move in on Ivan Zaitsev's territory in Gen Baton. So if you want to start doing that and elevating yourself in the Camarilla, Alex, as a Ventru, we could start doing that.
Whenever you're ready to take a run, just let me know.
Well, I need fucking
This
rain.
stuff is more effective against vampires than mortals.
That's good to know. All right, well then, don't let me keep you. Go have fun. Who are you even playing with? Like, who's teaching you?
Do you know Tim?
Tim
From
Akar?
Burnshead? Yes, from The Laughing Magician.
Can Terry know Tim?
Yeah, you recognize the name, and you're surprised that Alex is just calling him Tim, because he's the Tremere representative to the High Council for the Prince.
The official court.
Do you know who Lord Akard is? I'm assuming that's what people would call him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know who Tim is?
Yeah, I know who Tim is. Do you know who Tim is?
It sounds like I have a better idea of who Tim is than you do.
Maybe. I just find it... Yeah,
Who's Tim to you?
Tim's one of the head of the Torador?
Tremere.
Tremere?
The Tremere, that reports, directly to the prince.
Side tangent. Which one is Tremere? What's their deal?
The blood sorcerers. That's their deal.
Ooh, that's a good deal. I'm just
Really
an
good to
aug.
keep him close.
Some call him.
Definitely don't want to be
Tim.
on the
Tim!
bad side. Hey, I think I hear rain.
So, speaking of Anna, would you like to check in with Anna and see if she knows anything about where Rain might be?
Yeah. Terry will head back to the archives and just check in with Anna.
Oh, Terry, hello. Welcome back.
Hey,
Anything I
Anna.
can do for you?
I mean, if you could find my friends, that'd be great.
Oh, have some gone missing?
Well, I was able to find Alex and talk to Alex, but I have no idea where Rain and Blake have gone off to.
Oh, well, Miss Blake left you a message. She said that she's doing some shopping and that she was going to make sure you had an appropriate outfit now that you're actually, respectable and doing something with your life.
I'm not unhappy about that.
And Rain, no messages from him.
That's
not
not
that
a
he
shocker.
ever
Yeah,
leaves
no,
messages,
yeah.
but usually Bishop knows where he gets up, what he gets up to. So let me give Bishop a ring, and I'll let you know just as soon as I find out some.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that he still hits him up for things from time to time. This is, you've been a blessing, and he just like, I don't know what kind of things would she like for Terry to give her as like,
Money.
yeah,
What
he'll
anybody
say
working for anybody wants.
he'll say
money.
remind me to give you a bonus.
Oh well, I mean that's certainly not necessary. The
Mooter.
compensation through the foundation is more than enough. However, if you might put a word in with Blake, she does have such fantastic taste.
You want to be friends with Blake?
It's not so much the friendship, just the clothes.
Oh, okay. You want Blake to take you shopping? Oh, bet. Yeah, yeah. She probably wouldn't even be mad about that. Like, at least I think in her words were, Terry, you definitely could have done worse. So, I mean, that's like almost a compliment from her.
And it doesn't even have to be going shopping. I know how Blake can get. Again, I have absolute confidence she has already sized me up, knows my size, and knows what would look good.
It's true, but going shopping with her is like a life or death situation and is quite a thrill.
I'm
Lane's died.
not entirely sure you and I have the same version of thrill seeking.
It's true. I do like to live dangerously.
I mean, I've seen your interactions with Blake. I'm honestly surprised you're not dead.
Me too.
I mean, it's not for her lack of trying, I guarantee. I'm hard to kill.
Oh, I just got a text message back from Bishop. Says Rain went out to the outskirts of town. He's going to do some camping, apparently. Something about trying to find a woman he met there once.
I'm pretty sure Rain and Terry talked about his siring. If I remember right, we did it when we were playing video games.
Yes.
So Terry's going to connect the dots. He'll probably be all right by himself. Make a note. If it goes more than 2 nights, we might have to go look for Rain.
Is it 2 nights from now, or the 2 nights that have already passed, according to what you said earlier?
2 nights from now. We'll give him a couple more days. That's what, a whole week, 4 days ish of looking. That's plenty of time for him.
That's quite interesting math to go from 4 days to a week.
Time moves fast for Rain, trust me. He is burning bright and is going to burn for a short period of time.
Ever.
Yeah, as soon as that sun comes up, if he's out there camping, he is toast. Poor Rain.
Poor Rain.
Poor Rain.
When it rains, it
I like that
pours.
guy.
But note has been made. I'll remind you in a couple of days to go look for the rain.
Okay, excellent. Alex mentioned something about paperwork for the nonprofit.
Oh, yes, of course. The lawyers sent over another, and she points at the desk, and there's like 3 binders, and you look on the edges, and like they've all been tabbed, and you see the ones that have like the little like arrows that like you need to find. There's about 70 of those.
What was that about Blake killing me? I think I'd take that over this. As he sits down and starts citing things.
Well, it is quite difficult to set up an appropriate business structure that allows you to maintain ownership while keeping your information private and having a separate face of the company as represented by me. It is quite complex. And, I understand that you want to do good for the city without having your name associated with it because you're not after the fame and everything that goes with that sort of philanthropy. But you do make it quite difficult for them.
Oh, I don't mind the red tape. And like I said, if there's ever anything that gets too bogged down, let me know. And I will see what the council and I can work out. Just you're doing a fantastic job, and just keep it up.
Well, that's the plan. There's so much good we can do. And it has been so wonderful finding someone that has the same passion for helping the homeless. I mean, this city is just, it's so sad and so challenging that we can't help more. And with that, we'll cut to Rain. So, Rain, you've taken your old style. Let's see, did we actually give you a Harley?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got your, 1975 Harley.
Yeah.
You've took off early one evening, headed out back to the place where you remember, being strung out on the outskirts of the city.
After getting out of jail and do a little B&E, steal some money. Found a
And
little-
over the course of the first couple of days, you think you're in the general vicinity of where you first met this woman.
I'd like through my profits of my gangs and whatnots, I'd like to put all my profits towards buying a little trailer, or maybe renting a trailer from I figured I broke into a trailer, so from the same trailer lot.
Okay. I'll say that, I mean, again, this is probably a few months after, you've you sort of settled things in your neighborhood. So you've had enough time to, come up with a sneaky 15, 20,000 that you could skim off, or not skim off, but you could, pocket for yourself. So also you've definitely managed to uh, basically do like a 6 month lease on one of these trailers out there, just so it doesn't strike up quite as much suspicion. And you paid in cash, which isn't that uncommon. And the basically the landlord just kind of assumes that you're either coming through town, working like a construction job or something like that under the table, and you just need a place to stay. Doesn't ask too many questions.
And then I'm gonna bring a couple of my boys with me, just to keep an eye out during the daytime.
Okay. Now, question for you. These boys, when you go into your sleep, like, you appear to be dead, you do not breathe, like, so are these just like members of your drug dealing gang, or are these ghouls?
Um, I like the ghoul idea. I just don't know what goes into that.
So basically,
And if
with
maybe just I'd like to have one or two ghouls, maybe just one ghoul with me, and have Truck be a ghoul.
okay, so let me see if I can get to the game rules real quick.
Oh, he's got a cool truck.
I got a pretty ghoul truck.
I mean, I would think by now you guys would know my feelings on bad puns.
That was a good one though.
Is that what we're gonna call that?
There's no such thing. That's a bad pun? I don't believe that.
Okay, so a ghoul is a merit, and now I swear they were in the. Okay, hang on. I thought they were in the basic rule book, but this is telling me they're in the
They're in the
player's guide.
the blood section. Totally just closed my character sheet. Whoops. Because you feed them your blood and then that bonds them and all that stuff. But you have to do it like 3 times and across a space of a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and that's what I was remembering. But apparently, yeah. So there's the ghoul process. I don't know why it's saying that. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. It's available to you. But to do that, you have to feed. Basically, the ghoul has to feed on your blood. I think it's 3 times within.
It's on page 234. I literally have it marked.
Nice.
I turned right to it. Okay, ghouls. A mortal or animal who drinks a vampire's blood becomes something both more and less than what they were for a time. Derisively called a ghoul by Western vampires, the imbiber gains a smidgen of the power of a true vampire. The vitae, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a rouse check worth of Vitae bestows the following benefits to a mortal or animal for approximately a month. The ghoul gains the first dot in one of the master's disciplines along with a single level of one power possessed by the vampire. This only happens on their first drink, but very old ghouls have been known to display additional powers. The aging process halts and they heal twice as fast. So yeah, it's a blood bond.
Right. So, you can do that, and the um, the bonding, I think, basically is going to cost you like 1 point, 1 dot, to maintain. To basically just say like you're doing this routinely, and then when we do like certain scenes, you may have to like actually do the feeding and make a rouse check and see if you get hungry or not, and so on.
Okay. I think I would just. Can I have Truck know about me but not be a ghoul?
That would make you a masquerade breaker.
It would. And the other challenge there is that basically without some way of compelling them to, keep your secrets and protect you and all that kind of stuff, you'd basically have to convince me as the storyteller why this person wouldn't just,
Freak out, be like, "Don't eat me!"
either that or, actually try to like stake you to take over once they got in a position, that kind of stuff.
All right, let's make 2 ghouls.
Okay.
And I think I have 2 dots because of my addictions.
Yeah, I'll just say like basically 1 point will cover it.
Okay.
So, all right, so you've got 2 ghouls with you.
And they get a bit of my. If I can give them a bit of my power, I'd like to have them be able to have the ghoul who's with me give him my claws, and maybe the ghoul who's not with me give him the red eyes.
Let's see. It says the ghoul gains the first dot in one of their master's disciplines, along with a single level 1 power possessed by the vampire. This only happens on their first drink. So I assume it's going to stick with them, though.
Yeah, and it loses potency the more times you turn them into a ghoul.
Yeah.
So I think you got the right idea. I think this is something you do when you need to go do something like this. You're like, I need 2 ghouls right now, but you have to have that proper blood bond kind of established to be able to easily do it.
So, I gave Truck the red eyes. They're able to gleam whether someone is hostile or also kindred, and then the claws just make their hands claws, which deal bonus damage.
Okay. So you've got those guys set up to sort of keep watch over you. And the first day, nothing really happens. The night rolls around, and how do you go about trying to track down this person?
I'm gonna go look for where I was taken. Maybe I don't think she'd leave much tracks, but just trying to investigate the area. Maybe talk to the local lowlifes, try to get some information out of them about local legends or stories or about people gone missing, or like, hey, stay away from this area, you don't come back, kind of stuff like that.
Okay. So that sounds an awful lot like an investigation sort of thing to me.
Yes. Investigation and wits.
So you think it's wits or charisma? Are you doing more like hunting or more talking?
hunting.
Then let's go with wits. Okay. So, as you do ask around just a little bit, and you sort of pick up on some of the patterns, you can see places where there's clearly more activity and others where there's less. As you sort of roam around of the evening, and you start to sort of narrow in to one particular uh, section of sort of the wooded, fields and more farming rural community outside the city. I mean, there's still plenty of neighborhoods and things like that, but there's more open spaces and more actual like forest type area out here. And over the course of the first couple of nights, you think you've got it down to one fairly large section of the more forested area with fairly limited uh, housing back in there that seems to not be particularly active with animal life and other things. It's like, it's for being as remote and unpopulated as it appears to be from the human perspective, you're surprised you don't see more animal activity.
Okay. Um. Is there any like wildlife making noises, or is it just dead quiet back here?
There are some birds and things, but it's pretty quiet.
We're gonna pop my eyes of the beast. Um, I can see in the dark. All darkness related penalties are removed. I add 2 to my dice pool, and then
I thought you got rid of your eyes of the beast.
did I get rid of my eyes of the beast?
I thought you swapped it out for weight of the feather.
No, I got rid of sense the beast.
Okay.
The other beast.
Oh, I got rid of the one that allows you to gauge their hostility, or if they're kindred. Okay, that's the one I got rid of. But now I'm blind as a feather. So I got claws and glory red eyes. I gotta make a rouse check. I made my rouse check. And then
So,
I'm
I guess,
gonna.
and again, I'm not trying to derail you here, but which character sheet are you looking at?
My one on roll 20.
Okay. Because looking at the one you put together on the other one, uh,
Oh, wait, where's my red eyes?
yeah, like you got Way of the Feather and Feral Weapons as your 2 Protean abilities.
Oh. Can I get rid of Way of the Feather? I didn't realize I'd lose my red eyes. I
Sure.
like my red eyes. But yeah, so I don't have feather, have red eyes, going in the forest, looking for clues.
Okay. So as you're making your way through these woods, I want you to make me a stealth and dexterity. Actually, stealth and composure check.
Stealth. I'm specialized in it, but I don't know if I get to use my specialty for stealth.
Yeah, I don't think specializing in break-ins is going to help you here.
Okay, that's a good point. So stealth and what?
Composure.
Stealth is 3. Composure's 3. Just gonna roll.
Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. So you are, you're getting a little excited. You think you may be about to find the person who's responsible for turning you into what you are now. And, you're being quiet. You're keeping your senses open and aware. And there is something sort of on the wind that is it's calling to you. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's just pulling you further into these woods. And you cease relying on your sight and just start going where this feeling takes you. And it brings you to a small clump of trees. But there's nothing you can see. Like there's no one there, no thing there. And yet you're certain, like, the sense is stronger here than anywhere else you felt it.
Uh, does it feel like I'm caught in it? Like I went from hunter to hunted because I don't see anything.
No, you're definitely confused. Like, you did feel like you were stalking something. Like there was, you had that excitement building in you. But the fact that you're sure this is where the hunt was leading you, but there's nothing there. Right now, you're just confused by it.
I'm gonna go put my back against a tree and crouch down and try to get my bearings a little bit to try to figure and keep like a kind of like a panicked animal. Just not really panicked, but I'm crouched down looking everywhere, trying to figuring out, do I feel like I'm being watched?
You do.
I'm trying to narrow in on that feeling.
So as you start to sort of try to focus on that sense of like where these eyes are watching you, you turn to look at, to your right around the tree that you've now backed up against. Like, there was nothing there. Like, you just looked over there. But for some reason, you're looking again. And this time, when you look, you see light reflecting off of two eyes. All you see is those bright rings.
Are those the same eyes from before?
They look exactly like you remember them looking.
I'm going to slowly crouch up and get my claws out, take a defensive stance to see what she does. She do. What that cute girl do? Is she gonna kill me? Oh boy.
So at first, as you take this stance, the eyes don't move. But then they start just ever so slightly bobbing back and forth, coming closer to you. And as they come out from under the shadow of one of the trees, what you see is a wolf.
I'm going to crouch down and reach out with my hand, and like you know how when you see a dog and you go to have the dog sniff you, I'm gonna
Mhm.
do that. But as I reach out my hand, I'm gonna have my claws go back into normal hands.
I think I need to touch it.
Can I pet that now?
And as you have reached out your hand, the claws have retracted. You're taking less of a defensive stance. In, well, honestly, in less than the blink of an eye, you, like something is changing about the the animal, and the eyes are locked on yours, like you're staring into the eyes of this wolf. But almost before you notice anything except the eyes, suddenly this woman is leaping at you. And she pounces, like her arms, her hands hit on either side of your head. They grab your shoulders and thrust you back into the dirt.
Isn't my on the left or right in the middle?
Do what?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. My bad. Blake is showing me all the things that she bought.
Nice.
I redressed everyone.
But Rain, you don't feel pain, but you have now been knocked to the ground, and this woman, this stunning, beautiful, completely naked woman, is on top of you and staring at your face.
Oh man. Do you go for the punch or do you go for the kiss? Oh man. Um, we're gonna go for the have my legs come up, like I'm gonna
You're
push.
on your back.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have my legs like come up from behind around her
Yep.
and try to lock around her middle, and like USC fight move, try to grapple her off my upper body.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a brawl check.
I get 3, cause no claws. Oh no, that's a 1.
So you successfully wrap your legs around her waist and go to try to like roll or spin, get her off of you or sideways or something to give you more freedom of movement. And while she doesn't do anything to block your legs, she very easily parries the arm moves you're trying to make. And you can see, like, she gets this smile on her face, and the fangs are present. And she lunges down at your neck, but stops just right before she bites. She says, "You did well to find me, young one. Do you truly wish to fight me? We had so much more fun last time."
Rain's eyes are red and his fangs are bared, and he stops himself and um, goes in for the kiss.
Chicka wow wow.
And the bow chicka wow wow will fade. And later in the evening, with the moon out, you both sitting there under the trees. She looks over at you. "I wondered if you would come back, if you had been already put to death by the iron and steel of the city."
Well, it wasn't easy when you just left me in the middle of nowhere, chased by those goddamn Inquisition bastards. I'm lighting up a cigarette while I talk to.
"I had no intention of leaving you for, as you say, the Inquisition bastards. But it is very important for a hunter to make their own way.
My name's Rain. What's yours?
Rain. That is a good name. Mine is Willow. Rain upon the willow. Yes, that does have a ring to it, doesn't it?
I like it.
Well, I also enjoyed it, but I would not spend too much time thinking on it. I think my days here are coming to an end. I grow weary of this place. It's time to travel.
You can
It's
come live
time
in
to
the
feel
city
the
with
wild
me.
again. Come live in the city. Why?
Well, it may be brick and stone, but it's pretty wild.
That sort of wildness is fake. It's no place for a hunter. It's no place for a true predator. Let the Ventru and the Bruja and the Toreador, let them play amongst the iron and steel.
So I won't see you again?
Hmm, I could not say. I travel around. I go where the calling takes me. This is not the first time I've been here. I suspect it will not be the last. I also suspect that you will not stay here. Not for long. A decade or two, maybe. Not more. You too will grow sick of the confinement.
I don't know. I got a lot building in that city right now.
Hmm. You think you have a lot building in this city. But there's always more. Always others scheming. Scheming to steal. Scheming to hide. Scheming to take through deception, through courtly etiquette, what they can't take with their fangs.
How do you turn into different animals?
You mean the wolf?
Is that something I could do?
Perhaps. I'm sure it runs in your blood as it runs in mine. Perhaps you'll be able to reach in it, find it, pull the skin of the true predator around you. Know, to know the feeling of the earth gliding underneath you as you run in the moonlight. Yes, that is true hunting. Long before there were vampires. Long before there were cities. Man feared the dark. They feared us. The hunters, the predators. Yes, I'm sure that someday you will be able to cloak yourself.
Let me hunt with you for a while.
If you wish to hunt, you can hunt with me always. Come, leave this place. We shall run across the wide country.
I'm still chained to this city. I can't leave just yet.
Well, at least show me. Show me you have learned. Show me you know how to truly hunt.
Then Rain's gonna get up and like, how popular are these woods? Are there any campers?
I think you're just going to have to make me some sort of roll to see how close you are to a potential victim.
Uh, Survival's a good one.
Sounds like a reasonable one to me.
Let's do survival and survival and wits. Maybe
Makes
realize,
sense.
yeah. All right, so survival's 2, wits is 3.
All right. 3 successes. You know that while you were trying to track Willow down, that the area was pretty clear, but about a mile back, you're pretty sure you saw a sign for a campground. And you start making your way back in that direction. And given that it's still the middle of the night, the speed at which the two of you can move, it takes you almost no time at all to get back to the sign, to get your bearings, and to make your way through the wilderness. And you get to a reasonably nice camping area. You see there are some, cars parked there. They've got, the camper trailer sort of set up. And you see some cars that have just been parked and there are tents relatively spread out. There's a sort of central area where you can tell there's bathrooms and showers and that sort of thing. There aren't really any like power connections or anything like that. So, but you count 4 different vehicles.
What kind of group of people are they? Like teenagers out partying?
It's quiet at this point in the night, so you see like the remnants of one like campfire, and there's a fair number of beer cans that have been like left laying or been tossed aside, but you don't see anyone actually out at the moment.
We're gonna pop our claws back out like Wolverine. Ching. Oh no! Wait. We get advantage. Yeah.
Yes, you get to roll twice and take the better.
Oh boy, am I hungry.
Yep. So you have a hunger of 2.
And we're gonna make a stealth roll. Stealth plus composure. So that's the 6.
Actually, I think that since you have the Sandman Predator type, which means you typically are going to be feeding from sleeping victims, then you should be rolling dexterity and stealth.
Yo, that's all right. Let me add 2 more onto that, and that would be the roll then. So that's 2 fails, 5 successes. Wait, I did that wrong.
Yeah, it's just 5 successes.
Yeah.
Actually, potentially 6, unless you rolled one too many dice.
I rolled 1 too many dice.
Okay, so you're able to quickly identify that one of the tents, the flap has been left unzipped, and you stealthily make your way around, and you see inside is a what you assume to be a couple. They look like they're in their mid-20s. They are, both in sleeping bags, and the tent's relatively small, but you can quietly and quite easily make your way into the tent. And Willow, just as silently, is there next to you.
I'm guessing she doesn't follow the rules of the Camarilla.
You haven't asked her.
Rain's not. He's just going to feed on the girl at the same time as she feeds on him. And then once we reach that point of like, okay, we should stop, he's gonna watch her and see what she does.
And you see her release her bite and lick the wound, and just has this pleased look upon her face. And she makes her way out of the tent.
I'm going to release as well and lick the wound and follow her out very quietly. It was a sneaky snack. You know, you break down in the fridge at 2 a.m. for some grated cheese, except the grated cheese is campers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, me and her just banged and then walked to Circle K. I love it.
What
As-
is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And as you begin to make your way back towards where, she has been making her home, or her nest, if you will, she sort of looks at you and goes, "Now isn't that better than skulking around in the city?"
That he's gonna lie and say that was pretty tasty. That girl was sober as a fish. Must have been like a church troop or something. I don't know if I need to make a roll to lie, but he's gonna lie. That was delicious.
Yeah, you can try to do some subterfuge if you want.
Oh, do I have subterfuge? I've wanted subterfuge. Subterfuge and
I'm going to say manipulation.
that's 3 dice. Let's go, baby. Oh no, baby. Yeah, that was tasty.
Uh-oh.
Why lie?
I
There's
don't know,
no need for it.
cause she was sober and I don't know. It's just maybe it's me, my past life, but it's only good if they're high off their ass, and you don't get a lot of that here. Or in the city, it's a fucking buffet.
I see that your addictions have stayed with you. Well, perhaps in time, that too will fade, and the remainder of your human life will leave you. But as it is now, as I have said, I suspect I shall leave soon. When you come to your senses and realize what your true destiny is, come find me.
Will you be out here? Is there a way to contact you?
Your blood will lead you to me, as it led you here this night.
Then Rain's gonna give her a farewell kiss.
And as you do, or after you release, she just sinks into the ground.
Yo, that's cool. That's how she was. Rain's just gonna walk away. That's how she was able to get up behind me. And then he's gonna start running as fast as he can through the forest. Just he's gonna make a quick stop to pick up his clothes and stuff, and then he's just gonna keep running barefoot through the forest, just trying to do what she said, running through the forest after the thrill of a hunt, pretty much feeling the wolf inside of him.
And you do feel something stirring in you. Like you are making contact to an aspect of the beast that has been sort of gnawing at you while you've been in the city. There is something freeing about running across this open ground like this. And you also recognize that it won't be dark for much longer. And unlike your sire, you can't just hide in the ground.
Ruh-roh rain.
I'm gonna stare at the moon for a moment longer, and then book it back to the trailer.
All right. And now we return back to Blake, who I believe has been shopping.
I've been shopping. I feel much better now.
So Blake, what'd you get for Anna?
I don't know about Anna yet. Okay. But hold on, sorry, my chat. Okay. So I went shopping. Okay, so I got Alex a suit, which is this one. And then I got Rain a suit, which is this one. And I got Terry a suit, which is this one. And then I got Rain a casual jacket. And I got Alex a casual jacket. So at the very least, I don't have to see their actual clothes if they just wear a nice jacket. And last time I already got Terry a jacket. So we're slightly covered in these areas. And since everyone else has suits, I had to get Blake a suit too. So now we fancy.
That is really fancy.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do it in style.
Hey, you will not be out of place at your fundraisers for the Sunshine Foundation.
Perfect. I knew we needed suits. It was a suit day. Blake just comes back and she has like all of these clothes, like in their plastic fancy bags. And she like lays them on the ugly ass counter.
Well, are you going to the Haven or are you going to Terry's place?
I've been gone a while, okay? I'm gonna go back to the Haven because that's where usually everyone is.
Okay, I think, is Alex the only one at the Haven now?
Plus, Terry's still gone.
I mean, Terry.
Yeah, I think Alex is the only one at the bodega.
Yeah, the bodega. Yeah. So yeah, that's where Blake shows up. Alex is there.
What, you guys decide to finally get a life?
They can't hear you.
I don't want to be too loud, but you're echoing.
Oh, well, there.
What, you guys finally decide to get lives all of a sudden and just disappear?
Well, Rain, I think, up and got himself lost. Terry seems awfully concerned about Rain's well-being and finds himself content on finding Rain no matter what. And I've just been stopping by to check up on old things.
Yes, because Terry's the responsible one who needs to take care of things.
Well, he was also looking for you. For quite a spell, if I remember.
Oh, good. I didn't want to see him.
Oh, well then, I have yet to see you then.
but I did get you something. And she'll first hand you the suit, and she'll be like, this is for not just everyday wear. You know, don't ruin it. Use it for something nice. But this one you can use to cover up those rags. And she'll hand you the jacket as well. The suit and jacket.
Well, thanks, Blake. Ooh,
Yes, it's really my pleasure. Trust me, it does more for me than it would for you, but it's necessary.
I like the color.
It's a good color. It's a good color. Yes, I did good. Yes. But I guess I've been gone for a few days, so you know, shopping, fashion things, favors, all of the above. What are you guys keeping your heads low? Okay. Are there fires I need to be putting out? Any more favors I have to give people to cover up your tracks?
No more loose cannons. No more slip ups. Everybody seems to be relatively keeping care of themselves.
Oh, that's a first. That doesn't seem real.
It's like we're all acting like grown ups.
Well, baby grown-ups, I guess.
Baby steps.
Baby steps indeed. Well, I see you guys haven't put any effort into cleaning this place up yet.
Well, if I recall right, you were the one with all the big plans for everything.
Yeah, but
mock ups of a before and after.
But I'm not gonna do it. That's dirty work. I'll have to hire people, get them in here, but I don't want Rain coming in and complaining about how nice it looks because he could live in a dumpster fire and be satisfied.
But I already spent my points on resources.
I made myself extra rich on resources. So I have money. Oh God. No, that's if you bring that to the city, it's gonna mysteriously disappear.
It's gonna get parked at Junkertown.
And it's gonna like it's not gonna be somewhere where Blake has to walk by it.
It's blocking your Mustang in right now.
Blake will be let's just set it on fire.
Oh, she will. She will.
Double parked out in the street.
Oh. You can't just park that here. How did you get in here? Well, I need to head to the what's that place called? The underground book place.
Information to turn in.
The archives.
The archive.
The archives. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Look, okay. So yeah, there's due to that incident that happened, I have to make sure I get all of the proper information turned in.
Mind some company. It might be a bit of a stretch, but Rain mentioned something about a naked wolf lady at the Shat Grove. I don't really know where one would start looking in the archives, but maybe somebody made a mention of something like that.
Storyteller, have I heard anything about wolf ladies naked?
Yeah, at some point you've probably heard Rain talk about like you may not have shared your story about getting embraced, but the others, since it's been relatively new, talked about it when you first met, and so you've heard Rain talk about the naked wolf lady that turned him.
But outside of him talking about it, is that something I might be familiar with?
No.
Okay. Yeah. No. That'd be a really good place to look for sure. The sooner we leave here, the better. But make sure you put those somewhere safe. And she's gonna usher to her the suit and jacket she got you.
He's gonna tuck the suit away in one of his rooms, and he's gonna throw the jacket on. Right, then you driving or am I?
I'll drive.
Yeah, she's not gonna ride in the Suburban ever.
No. And you have a nice jacket on, so you can go into the Mustang.
That's why I put it up.
I think I'll say as you guys make your way over to the archives, that's where we'll end it for this evening.
The gang's almost all back together. We did it.
Yay!
Almost.
Almost. We just have to find a naked wolf woman. And then we'll all be back together.
I hope you guys are enjoying your opportunities to advance your characters.
I'm ready to
Wow.
get in the woods.
It
Wow,
was
so
living in a
different.
Winnebago.
it was fun, like role playing through like where all the dots came from.
I like the idea of Blake, like, where's Rain? He's probably naked in the woods living in a Winnebago. Rain's actually naked in the woods living in a Winnebago.
Accurate.
Living in a van down by the river.
Smoking doobies down by the river.
Just take a shower. God damn it, Rain. Every time I clean you up, you run back to the woods.
Are you calling him a dog?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty sure that's exactly what she's calling him.
Well, this was fun. And then are we playing? So we're playing in 2 weeks. Is that the plan?
That's
Ben?
the plan.
So
So next one.
27th.
Yep,
Cool.
should be the 27th. We'll have a Halloween themed episode.
Ooh,
Spooky.
Scurry.
I mean, you guys are the spooky. You realize that, right?
I was
I like being the spooky. Oh, I can get us Halloween costumes. Ooh.
The one night of the year we can go out without using the blush of life.
Oh, we're gonna look like fucking. Oh, we're gonna look fucking too.
I love my Vampire the Masquerade character. I love this game. This is so much fun.
It's getting wild.
Yeah, like things are gonna take a turn for. Like we all have like influence now, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
Oh, I got a
I mean-
gang.
Alex done like joined a cult, so
But I'm learning cool magic powers, so it's
Blood
fine.
magic.
yeah. I mean,
It'll
let's
be
not worry
fine
about
until he
blood magic.
sacrifices all of us.
I've been thinking what other magical creatures could be out there, guys. If vampires are real, gotta find something else, right?
Alex tames a dragon.
All right, guys. I'm gonna get going. Thank you for running the session, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank
Right.
you guys for contributing the ideas about how we're gonna do it. We'll keep rolling with it.
It'll be fun.
See you guys.
Have a good
Night,
night.
everybody.
Night,